Hi, everybody. Jack here with you to update you. I hope you had a good Memorial Day weekend. We went to the Benzie County ceremony. It was nice, as always, and it's a good day to remember the men and women who gave the ultimate sacrifice for our nation. So I hope you got some rest and relaxation, and also it took a moment to remember. But now we're back at it. And so I thought it's kind of quiet right now. I know some people, what do you mean quiet, Jack? But I thought I'd touch base on several different issues as we move forward. First of all, just update you on COVID. This was as of yesterday. I don't have today's numbers. 862 new COVID cases from Sunday through yesterday, 13 passings over that period. Those totals for the pandemic now stand at 888,581 cases, 19,176 deaths. So far, 58.6% of the people 16 and older have gotten at least one shot of some type of vaccine. Just an FYI. Couple of things in the news here that probably don't bubble up on the radar, but I thought I'd throw at you. This one, there is a bill. So wolves were at one point were on the endangered species. They've now been taken off the endangered species. They've come back. They are now in very strong numbers, especially in the Upper Peninsula. Well, there has been a lot of push with the Natural Resources Commission to allow a wolf hunt in the Upper Peninsula. Now, as soon as you say that, people get all up in arms, and the issue is, well, the wolves, Well, again, if you're in the southern part of Michigan, wolves aren't an issue. But if you're in the Upper Peninsula where they move and go through, and they're in good numbers, and remember, a hunt is not a slaughter. A hunt is to manage the herd, just like deer, right? So I thought this made a lot of sense. There's a bill in the Senate that would say the Wolf Management Advisory Council should have the representatives from the UP on it. So we don't have necessarily people from lower Michigan making the call and having all the input on a situation that is very important and a big problem to the residents of the Upper Peninsula. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Also, still moving along and being discussed in committees and things like that, of course, is our healthcare package that would lower costs. The pharmacy benefit managers, it would reduce their influence, which would lower costs, so on and so forth. We've talked about it in the past. That is still moving along. Our ethics package also is being discussed and worked on, as is the election bills and that sort of thing. They're in committee. They're being worked. When a bill gets introduced, there's a lot of discussion, and the first blush might not be what it looks like at the end. So, people get all upset. Again, it's got to work the process. Which leads me to a letter to the editor that was in the Manistee News. And I read it. Normally, letters to the editor, people entitled to their opinion. But this one, it's like, if you're going to criticize me, at least read the freaking bill and know what you're talking about. So this person obviously just wanted to take a shot, right there, honey. Just come on, smack me. You can do it. It's just dumb. Representative O'Malley takes time to vote yes on two bills that have the potential to reduce the educational experience of the children in the 101st District. These bills allow employees without a college education to substitute teach and prohibit substitute teachers from being part of a bargaining unit. Evil Republican attacking teachers. Well, that's a bunch of horse hooey. If you read the bills, you find out that 4294 says, look, we are in a stuck spot. We have COVID issues. We got all kinds of issues. Substitute teachers are hard to find. They are a problem everywhere. So this says if a school wants to do this, they can take a school employee. There are certain rules. They have to work for the school district or the school, and they can utilize them as a substitute teacher. Now, granted, they are not necessarily the same as a full-blown teacher. But again, it does, with some guidance from the rest of the staff, they can at least, because they already work in the school, maybe they can help run that school and keep that class moving forward. This is an emergency measure only that runs through June of 2022. So it is an emergency member for a year. A measure for a year. Then the second bill, which would not allow substitute teachers, collective bargaining. Yeah, it says these teachers that are substitute teachers from 4294 can't be part of the collective bargaining because they're not really substitute teachers. And they're already getting a salary from the school district, so they can't be involved in it. It's got nothing to do with long term. This is a freaking short term fix when we're trying to help the school districts and make sure that they've got people in the classroom. Nobody thinks that this is a good idea except for this dum-dum who wrote this letter. So it's like you read these letters to the editor, just consider the source. It's so frustrating sometimes. Speaking as a past substitute teacher who found it important to teach the installed curriculum. Of course. I respect substitute teachers, but we're in a tough situation. We've got schools that, so do you just want the kids sitting there twiddling their thumbs? At least we've got somebody who's involved in the school system, can be overseen by others. So I just read this, and this is the kind of crap that it's like, if you can't help, shush up and get out of the way. All right, now, if we're gonna talk childcare, let's talk real childcare. Our bill package that I've been talking to you about now for well over a year. This is where legislation, it takes time, and it's frustrating, but it takes time. And we had 3 bills last term that didn't go anywhere. We got stonewalled, but we continued to talk, and we continued to be respectful. And I don't know, we've got like an 8-bill package now that would also have some administrative rule that could take place there, and some budgetary issues that are still being discussed in the appropriation process. But I want you to know, if you are a caregiver, a child caregiver, a parent, we're getting real close to introducing these bills, and then hopefully we can fast track these things to get everything taken care of so that we can start regrowing our child care from infant up in the state of Michigan. It is on the ropes, and our providers need help. We need to bring providers back into the game. We need to make sure that our families are covered. We need to know that our employers, that we can help provide child care, make it accessible so their workers can go. Like the letter to the editor, obviously I don't give a rip about kids, and I want them all to be dumb as a box of rocks, right? No, it's the stupidity of that letter. But anyway, good things are happening on the child care front. Hopefully next week we can, we've had some delays in the bill drafting, but hopefully next week I can give you and point you to actual bill numbers so you can see what we're doing. But I'm excited that we're moving forward. There has been bipartisan work on this package, and I think it's going to be a very good package. It's not the beginning and the end. This isn't like, woohoo, child care's fixed, let's walk away. There's lots of issues, but we can't do them all at one time, right? Let's get this done, get some things started. Let's get daycare providers back in the game that were lost because of COVID and lost prior to that because of crazy regulation and just other issues that were always working against our providers and our families. So we're going to get this started, then we'll continue with more reforms and fixes in legislation to come. So I just want you to know, child care providers, we're this close to introducing these bills, and we're working them to get as much support as we possibly can, both here in the House and the Senate, and of course the governor's office. And as much as I've squawked against the governor, and I think rightfully so, I will say right now that her office is working well with us. So that's, if I'm going to knock the governor, which I have and have lots of ammunition to do, I need to say at this point that we're working with the governor's office on these, and it's been good back and forth to get these things right. So if if I'm going to criticize, I also have to compliment when it's there, because I think that's the fair thing to do, and I try to be fair. So with that, I'm at 10 minutes. I'm going to scoot, and I hope you're well. I'll talk to you again on Friday as we keep moving here. We're back in session after the holiday break, and I'll keep you informed. All right? So that's what I got. Have a good evening.